Shalom and good day all, this is Tehillim29 back again for another DC comic review, to which this time I'm going to be covering the Aquaman 80th anniversary. Well, I must admit, of what I've read through each and every one of these stories, there were some really good ones that I enjoyed, as well as ones that got probably as low as a 6 in the story. But starting off with first things first, looking at the cover, did it in any way to connect to at least any one of these stories in here? In fact it did, and I'm going to give it a big 9 out of 10. If I were to lay down one criticism, just in regards to these stories, I find it disappointing that they didn't have Dan Abnett to do anything in the Aquaman 80th anniversary. I just want to point that out before I get to covering inside the artwork of the stories. Now, as you can see there, these are the stories that are actually in this. We've got Foxtail, Father's Day, each with many of the writers. Like I said, the only one it's sort of missing, which I think should belong here, is Dan Abnett, because he did a fantastic Aquaman Rebirth run. And to add on top of that, I've still got an Aquaman Rebirth that I need to catch up with. I believe it's volume 3. Well, moving into the art. This is some of the art for the first story. Some of the art covering the second. Some of the art covering the third. Some of the art covering the fourth. There are a total of 11 stories overall. The fifth, the sixth, the seventh story. I do apologize if this is taking a little bit longer. Art connected to the 8th and 9th story. Art connected to the 10th. And last but not least, art connected to the 11th. Now, giving the art a overall rating, like from beginning to end, even though there were a lot of different stories in this, I gave it a 7.5. Now the fun part is moving into the story ratings. Each story was different, so you're going to have to check it out for yourself, but these ratings are final. For story 1, Foxtail, I gave it 6 out of 10. For the second one, Father's Day, I gave it 7 out of 10. Lady in the Lake, I really enjoyed, as it sort of felt like it gave some King Arthur vibes. A 7.5 out of 10. Next we had Multitudes, to which I gave a 7 out of 10. The next one is It's a Family Affair. I really enjoyed that story, and it's probably one of the highest rating stories that I actually gave in these stories for the 80th. Which was a 8 out of 10. Moving into Rhine Maidens, I gave a 7.5 out of 10. For Between Two Shores, I gave a 6.5 out of 10. What Remains of the Storm, or What Remains of a Storm, I gave a 7 out of 10. Rebellion, I gave 7 out of 10. Red Sea, I also gave 7 out of 10. Red Sea, I gave 7 out of 10. And last but not least, for Shadow, I gave a 7.5 out of 10, as I really sort of enjoyed what was being done there for Jackson Hyde and his character. My goodness. I'll bring up once again, the only thing that was really missing here was not having a story by Dan Abnett, and I think it would have actually been the perfect way to finish the story off, or to finish the 80th off. And if you happen to read it, what was your favourite story in this? And I'd like to hear back from you, especially in the comments. What was your favourite story in this? Until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day.